Hello everyone and welcome back to Avalon Acres in Planet Coaster, and on to episode 3 now as the park is taking shape. Today we are building the main street, or the idea was to build a main street, but in the end I just managed to build one building because it's that time consuming. The idea of this main street, like I said at the end of the last one, it's not going to be like a typical Disney Main Street or whatever that you see. It's going to be different levels, sort of different buildings on different levels, a lot of variation. There's not going to be that many buildings. I've just got some sort of ideas in my head of what I want to put here, and this first one that we're working on, like I say, the only one we get done in this episode, is based on just a Google image search I did for sort of medieval fantasy style buildings, and I think it has very much a sort of, if you've ever played them games like Age of Empires, the sort of civilization type sort of war games from back in the day. It's got a similar art style to that, which is something that I'm quite inspired by. I'm going to have to dig out an old copy of Age of Empires now. I think Age of Empires 2 was the best one. I like the way sort of you'd advance your village and you'd upgrade to the next level, and you'd see all your buildings like go from the Stone Age, from like the Dark Age to the Stone Age, that sort of thing. The whole buildings would upgrade. I thought that was a really cool look, and it fits well into this medieval park. So yeah, that's the sort of reference image I used for this first building. It took quite a lot of planning with the terrain work to get it in the place I wanted it. Obviously the actual building itself was raised slightly off the ground, but it's still usable for guests. They can just walk up to it. All I've put in there is a chief beef stool, just so that the guests have a use for the building, but really it is just for show. It's not designed to be a restaurant or anything. But basically just using the stucco walls, very simple to start with. I add all the detail later, which is why it took so long basically, and the image I copied it from keeps this similar shape, which is very basic shape, but it works quite well for this building. And then with the standard tile blue roofs, I didn't feel like they were steep enough, so I actually add another roof section on top of that afterwards as well, which you'll see in a minute. And yeah, sometimes it's difficult to get the roofs exactly how you want without them clipping too much, but I went back to it when I realised they're clipping and moved them around again, and yeah, we get it pretty much how we want it in the end. It's like I say, the actual shape of the building is quite simple. It's not really a lot to say about it. The detailing that I put in afterwards is the main sort of focus for this building. Like you can see the shape of this fantasy roof that I put in with the other roof gives it much more depth. Do you know what I mean? It's makes it a lot more how I wanted it to look. Sticking out at the front as well with the sort of balcony window type thing, like it's the same I put on the entrance plaza buildings. Maybe a bit of a Bavarian look, but I think it portrays that medieval look that I'm going for. And then just above the shop front we've got that other little roof. I think you'd call that a gabled roof. Again, I'm not too sure on my correct terminology for architectural things. You know what I mean, even if it doesn't always make sense. But yeah, the good thing about these sort of gabled sections, or sticking out roofs is we can put loads of wooden panel detailing on them, which works perfectly with the theme that we're going for here. So now you'll see me spend absolutely ages on getting all the wooden panelling in and make it look exactly as I want. So other than that, not really a lot to say on this one, so I'll leave you with a bit of background music. I'll leave you to watch the time lapse, and then we'll talk about what we built at the end of the video. So enjoy. Right, so you can see the building's pretty much complete now. Just adding a few final touches to it. A lot of work with the wooden posts, the wooden pillars, a lot of detailing like that, making all the wooden panelling. Obviously you can see also some trims on the roof, that type of thing. Just all the little details that really made it come together. All in all, I think it sort of portrays the look I'm going for, the medieval sort of, like I say, Age of Empires style look. I hope you can sort of see where I'm going for, what I'm going for with this one. And yeah, I think it fits into the part really nicely. I did want to get more built than just this in the episode, but you know, it was a full afternoon's work, a good 5 hours spent on this one building. I'd rather spend more time and do something perfectly, like make it nice how I want it, rather than rush things. And yes, it's worth spending the time on it, I think, especially in this game. But yeah, moving on. In the next one, I'm going to make sure that I get at least 2 buildings done. Still go for the heavy detailing, but maybe I'll find a way of working smarter, not harder. Because I know I can get more than that done in an episode if I put my mind to it. This one took a lot of fiddling about with, like you probably saw there in the time lapse. That's it then for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. More Parkitect to come later in the week, and yeah, more Planet Coaster next week probably. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.